Kaiju number 8 is back with a banger. This chapter has got me so hyped for the future of Kaiju number 8, and it reminded me why I fell in love with this series in the first place. There was so much action packed into this small chapter, and there's just so much to talk about. But quickly, before we talk about the chapter, I want to recap what's led up to it. I put timestamps, so if you just binged all of Kaiju number 8 and it's all fresh in your mind, you can just skip the recap and go to the next section. With that out the way, let's get straight into it. There's so much hype building up to this chapter. First of all, it's Kafka's first mission and Kikuro's as well in the new squad, so they have so much to prove. Especially since they are in the strongest squad and their captain is probably the strongest character in the series up to date. Aside from that, we also got to see the return of the Humanoid Kaiju, who we haven't seen in action since the first arc of the series, which was well over 20 chapters ago. And last but not least, we got to see some of the new characters from the first division in action, and in direct contact with Kikuru and Kafka. All in all, there's been quite a lot of development leading into this chapter, so let's talk about it. The chapter opens up with Kikuru absolutely obliterating Kaiju left and right. However, she doesn't seem to be happy with herself, and she kept comparing herself to Soshiro and Mina, saying that she wasn't quick enough or strong enough, which is way different from the Kikuru we're used to, who is always super cocky. I believe that spending time with Kafka is the main reason for her change, and he made her a better version of herself. He's a huge positive influence on her. I've said before in my Kikuru video, but I believe she's going to be one of the strongest captains ever. And I think being in the first division squad with all these powerful people around her will really push her and help her develop into an amazing fighter. Moving on, we got to see some interactions with other characters in the first division, which will hopefully be built on later, as there seems to be quite a diverse cast in this squad. And after those interactions, we got to see the part I was the most hyped for, which was Kafka. I wanted to see him blow through Kaiju and prove the commander wrong. However, the complete opposite happened, and let's just say he didn't live up to their expectations. He was getting slapped around. He starts off with partial transformation, but quickly realizes it won't be enough to take down this Kaiju, so then he decides to fully transform. But before he gets a chance to, he gets hit with the 1-2 Mayweather and gets sent straight into a wall. And without any time to react, the Humanoid Kaiju comes from underground. And that's how this absolute banger of a chapter ends, on the biggest cliffhanger ever. This chapter was so perfect. I mean, it covered so much and got us prepared for the next chapter, with the long-awaited rematch between Kafka and the Humanoid Kaiju. I also can't wait for the other members of the squad to be properly introduced and to see the whole first division in action, and to see how the most powerful squad works together. As for my predictions for the next chapter, I feel like Kafka is going to lose control again during the fight. However, this time, he won't have to bring himself back to his senses, because he's partnered with such a strong person. Remember, the first division captain is probably stronger than Kafka in his Kaiju form. And I could see them having a similar bond to Eren and Levi from Attack on Titan, where if he ever does fully lose control, he'll get taken down by the first division captain and held until he can turn back into a human. Anyway, I'm so hyped for the next couple chapters, and I can't wait to see Kafka's long-awaited rematch and how they wrap up the Humanoid Kaiju arc. I'm also super excited to see what comes next, and what opponents Kafka and the others in the defense force will have to deal with. I also can't wait to see what Reno's been up to, and how much stronger he's gotten. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll see you next time.